breaking news coming in once again, taking you through that right ahead of the Biden-Modi bilateral. Prime Minister Modi's tweeted out. We're going to just play out that tweet by Prime Minister Modi. He's been tweeting out, especially when the state gift to both President Biden and the First Lady. He tweeted that out. He tweeted out the welcome he got in terms of the Garba. And Prime Minister just tweeted out a short while ago that he's looking forward to his ceremonial welcome at the White House. We're going to just play that tweet out in just a short while for our viewers. But Rahul, getting you back into the conversation with what we were talking about earlier, away from the soft power, away from the hard talk, ultimately what lies at the core of the state visit are these defense deals, which are historic on its own, especially when we are talking about a joint partnership. All right, we were taking you through that as we get Rahul Kanwal back into this conversation. What is historic right now is the sheer fact where you're just talking about defense deals, when we are talking about jet engines of the GE414 HAL, which will now be produced in co-partnership and on Indian soil. America would be sharing its technology with India, which is history. It rarely has ever happened, and if I'm not wrong, never has quite happened. America looking at India, especially India's influence where the Indo-Pacific is concerned, where the US possibly needs India's influence more than anywhere else right now. So a lot of that will also be the backdrop of what is clearly a historic state visit. But what you hear right now is the brass band there preparing for Prime Minister Modi's welcome. It's a ceremonial welcome, a guard of honor accorded to the Indian Prime Minister. We're getting you multiple cameras. We've got like 3 cameras there and getting you the ringside view as it unfolds. What we are also expecting after the ceremonial welcome, and the Prime Minister has just tweeted out saying he's looking forward to it. Let's pull in Rahul Kanwal, our news director, back into this conversation. Rahul, at the core of the talks as well, what makes this state visit very historic are the defense deals, especially when it comes down to the joint partnership over producing the jet engines of GE414. They'd be done in India. What has compelled America to actually share its technology with India?
You're so damn fast. You're so damn fast.
No country is ever compelled, Preeti. I don't think that would be the right way to describe it at all. This is a very special gesture, a very special effort that the United States is making, and part of it also on account of the fact that both Delhi and Washington see in China a rising geopolitical threat, and in Washington DC's effort to try and find a balance to the rise of China, they're seeing in India a willing partner, a trusted friend, and that's something that is the equation that Washington DC is trying to build on. And I think despite the fact that India isn't a formal alliance partner of the US, the fact that this high-end critical emerging technology is being made available to Delhi shows the growing level of trust, frankly. It's not compulsion. It's not compulsion. It's real politics. It is growing trust between the governments of India and Washington. It's also what the Prime Minister in 2005 had said, doing away with the hesitance of history, forming a new relationship, realizing that our interests are aligned and that China is the real threat, China is the real enemy, which is what is bringing India and the United States closer together. I just want to also show you some of what's happening at this moment as we pan our cameras and give our viewers a real sense of the kind of preparations. Geeta Mohan is here as well. I see Geeta. We were just speaking to some of the American journalists, and they say the last time they saw something like this was apparently when the Pope had come to the White House, and they haven't seen this kind of revelry, this kind of celebration on the lawn of the White House.
Well, that's right, Rahul. Not just when the Pope, when we covered Indian Prime Minister's visits or have seen in the past state visits, none has been as grand as the one that we are witnessing today. The fact that Indian Americans, Indian community has been involved and has been invited to the White House in itself is historic. Never have the South Lawns been so full of people. Now, while for us it's an experience, for Prime Minister Modi it certainly will be a great experience. It also is an experience for each one of these individuals who are here at the White House. It's unmatched, it's unprecedented in the manner in which people have come out over here and are experiencing the beauty of an official ceremony which is underway. In moments from now, the leadership will be stepping out, and while the White House official welcome ceremony has begun, it's the guard of honor that he will receive, a 21-gun salute, and all that awaits the Indian Premier when he would step out of the White House building. So a historic moment, unmatched in terms of the presentation, in terms of how the White House rolled out not just the red carpet, but left no stone unturned to ensure that this is the grandest ever welcome of a leader for a state visit. We're looking at people over here from the Indian community in the diaspora who have come together and are experiencing what could be a historic moment for India-US ties. While the leadership talks about transformational relationship, this certainly is going to weigh and add a lot of weight to the relationship itself, to the relations. So a very important moment over here indeed, and it's not just India, it's the world that's witnessing this. We've seen a lot of reports, early morning newspapers from the American networks spoke about how this is transformational in nature. There are some key writers, authors who spoke about not shared values but shared interests, and in that aspect of shared interests, some key documents have already been signed. But look at the visual over here, look at the color, look at the aura that this entire event